Let's go get him again. Elite circle, third eye open, left hand holding, right hand smoking, flow still potent. Managed to score, yet I ain't open. Was on my beach chair, yeah, I ain't folding. Pardon my hiatus. It takes time when you live in life. In my mind, I'm preparing for greatness.
Let's talk about some winners. All right, so with the playoff pictures right there is out. To me, this year, I mean, these are some of the best years for me, in my opinion, because there's really nobody that's a clear-cut dominant team, whether you're talking AFC or NFC. You know what I mean? I feel like at 9-8, my Eagles has just as much good of a chance to win a championship as the motherfucking Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC. Like, it's just, hey man, look, let me talk my talk, man. This is my podcast. This is my let me do my thing. Let me put on my thing. You can stop me when you make your point. But my point is, I really don't fear anyone, and it's I don't know whether it's just crazy how JR believes in the Lakers. I don't know if it's just crazy belief, or whether it's something there. Do you feel like anybody just can win this championship? Do you feel like anybody could hoist that championship? Like Buccaneers. I mean, we could talk about AB if y'all want. I know that's kind of in the news cycle of Twitter and Instagram. I mean, that's old news now, but I'm pretty sure he's putting out his next mixtape. But I mean, it's just a lot of shit going on out there, man. There's a lot of shit going on out there as far as the NFL goes, and who do you have on both sides as far as just taking this thing all the way?
I do feel like you feel it's definitely a toss-up year. Like I don't think there's a clear-cut favorite in the NFC. I think in the AFC you have to lean towards the Kansas City Chiefs. I just feel like that.
How with that defense, bro? That defense is Basuda.
Look, who cares about defense when you can heat up like Mahomes, man? Who cares about it? And then here's my wild card. Remember, they have one Joshua Gordon, who really hadn't done a lot since he got to their receiver corps. I'm telling you, he's the same Josh Gordon, bro. And he's going to be on some unfortunate third DB, and it's going to be wide open. I really feel like they got a whole Josh Gordon package that they saving. They got it in the back pocket, and when they get in the pinch, they're like, "Yo, hey Josh, we going to you," and he going to be working cast. Because like when you see him run routes and stuff, man, he cutting just as crisp. Athletically, he never really gained a lot of weight. He looks the same. Like I still think from a talent perspective, he's probably about 75% of what he was. And 75% of what he was on a number 3 DB is murder, especially when the ball coming from Pat Mahomes. So, they're not, I don't think that offense is what they appear to be right now. In the East, it's a little bit convoluted because
you really pulled Josh Gordon out your ass. I'm taken aback.
Hey, look, I'm not afraid to jump on the ledge, man. You know what I'm saying? Like if the playoffs come and he's still a no-show, push me off like nuts. So you know what I'm saying? But if he do his thing, acknowledge me, man. Acknowledge me, bro, because I'm telling you, it's a feeling that I have. I see it.
All right. JL, man, you watch much football?
I don't. That's why I'm being quiet. Listen to y'all, man.
Yo, but honestly, man, as far as the AFC goes, man, the little fucking dark horse for me, man, and I hope that they don't really make it past anything, is fucking the damn Patriots, man. Like they're just so fucking consistent. I don't know. I don't think Mac Jones is really that guy, so that's what doesn't really get it done. But at the end of the day, man, like they just play X's and O's, and you talking about coaches that have an impact, a la, Steve Kerr, put that out there. You talk about coaches that have an impact, like Bill Belichick is as best as they come, man. So in particular in playoff situations. So I'm worried about those guys. But again, I'm like you, man, the Mahomes of the world, I really don't see it, man. The Titans, you got Henry. You got him coming back. Like, I don't know, man. I really don't know. I don't see nobody outscoring Kansas City in KC.
Ryan Tannehill is still their quarterback, bro. And I don't care what nobody say. I don't care how good his stats look. He's trash, bro. Ryan Tannehill is absolute trash. And that's another thing, pivoting back to Cam Newton that pisses me off because it's like, When you look like Cam Newton, you can't have a couple of down years. When you look like Ryan Tannehill, you could be garbage water, your first 4 years, and people will still believe you. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, Ryan Tannehill is not a good quarterback. He's just not. I'm
glad you finally addressed the race issue, but you were skating, dancing around it. But
oh no, hey, I tap dance all over that motherfucker. We already know what it is. We already know what it is.
All right, what about in the NFC, man? I mean, you familiar with that conference? Like, who do you see coming out of there?
NFC, I think it's a toss-up between the Packers, and I still like the Rams, man. I still like the Rams. I know they can.
Even with Stafford, who hasn't won a playoff game, you still like the Rams?
Yeah, and mind you, I'm not a huge Stafford guy, but I just feel like the talent on that team with them adding Odell Beckham Jr., who I don't know why people were talking about him like he was a has-been, because he's getting fucking ducks thrown to him by Baker Mayfield, but I'm not even gonna go into that. But they're just too talented, man. You got Robert Woods, you got Cooper Kupp, you got Odell Beckham Jr. Running back situation is a little bit shaky. And then defensively, man, their defense really hasn't lived up to the billing. Aaron Donald is doing what he's doing, but, like defensively, they're not nearly as good as I thought they would be. You got Jalen Ramsey at DB. Like, I really feel like, I think they're a team that's like saving it for the playoffs. They got a lot of people that have been close. Aaron Donald has been super close. Well, I mean, the Rams in general have been super close. Jalen Ramsey got really close back when Jacksonville Jaguars made their big push. So I think you got guys on the Rams that's kind of like waiting for the tournament to play. It's like, yo, we gonna turn up, tournament time, because like they're loaded across the board, man. So
what's your thoughts on the AB situation? And how he's, now that you have some time to see all of the different details from both sides pan out, how do you feel about that?
So I think it's unfortunate, man, because first off, let me preface by saying Antonio Brown is absolutely an asshole. He's an asshole, and he probably shouldn't even have gotten a shot. What I don't like the fact that people just dismiss him instantly, he's always the problem. Because in this scenario, if a player tells, especially a player of Antonio Brown's caliber, I don't give a damn what you feel about the dude off the field. As a receiver, he's still top 5, top 10. I don't care what anybody says. I think he's better than Mike Evans. I think he's better than Chris Godwin. I do. So if he tells you that he's too injured to go out there and be effective, you're a piece of shit by telling him to get his ass back in the game. And it's one of those situations where, like, I felt the coaches, like, yo, this motherfucker know he walking on eggshells and this is his last chance. So he ain't gonna have to. He's not gonna do anything but comply. So when they told him, like, yo, you're done, I really feel like they didn't think that he was gonna react the way he was gonna react. There's no way he could walk away from $1 million, right? There's no way that he can walk away from the NFL, right? And that's exactly what he did, and I will always salute that. You're not going to pimp me because you think I need this money. You know what I'm saying? I'm a man first. You're not going to treat me like I'm on some kind of fucking disposable battery. I'm an integral part of this team. Respect me as such. Don't matter how you feel about me personally. From a production standpoint, I make your offense go. I'm one of the key engines. Chris Godwin is out. He will not play at all in the playoffs. Mike Evans has always kind of been up and down. Grunt ain't what he used to be. He's going to be sorely missed. I think the Bucks, overplayed their hand. And,
I feel you. AB is definitely an integral part of that offense, and he was putting up numbers when given the opportunity, but he was playing his position much like everybody else on that offense, because I think when you have that much talent on that team, you got to take a back seat no matter who you are, because it's for the greater good. Everybody got to get fed. But again, to your point, that was some nigga shit. That's all it was. Like, he had a nigga moment. Similarly, the Boondocks episode. In my opinion, he just had a nigga moment, and he acted out. But actions have consequences. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. Like, we could talk about CTE and all that. Like, I don't know. I don't study the brain. I'm not a doctor. I'm
not giving him no excuses. I'm not giving him any excuses. You know what I'm saying?
not either.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, like, I think everybody has had a moment where, you know, in the workplace, you've had a supervisor come at you sideways, and you had to kindly remind them, like, nah,
I'm not the one.
Don't do that here.
Yeah.
Exactly.
For sure.
Do that with them other motherfuckers. You're not gonna do that with me. I'm James Robertson. My mom is Sandra Robertson, or was Sandra Robertson. If you ain't her, if you ain't Daisy Robertson, you're not talking to me any kind of way. No, I'm not. You're not gonna tell me to shut up. You're not gonna tell me to do it because I said so. That's not gonna fly, bro. That's not gonna fly, man. You know what I'm saying? Like you got, if you don't respect me as a man, I'm gonna have a nigga moment, you know? And I also don't like the fact, like, people trying to make it seem like Tom Brady was like, you know, Santa Claus or whatever, and like Antonio Brown was his charity case.
But
that nigga Tom Brady knew he needed to win, bro. And
he did what he needed to do. He knew. He knew what he was getting. Yo, I know, like, JR, I want you to jump in here because, like, you are like the you know, we in it. We watch football and shit like that. From your perspective, as far as AAB, was it just a nigga moment, or like are you deep diving and shit, or how do you feel about kind of this motherfucker walking off on its scene?
I mean, when I first saw it, I was like, damn, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? But seeing stuff come out later, I don't know if I would have left like he did, but I would have done something like. So I probably would have had a nigga moment myself, just from my history. Like,
have you ever left? Have a coach ever frustrated you? Because I want you to answer this. So him and Bruce Arians have had issues from way back in Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? And that's what people aren't really talking about. He ain't fuck with AB coming there from the get-go. So it was almost like, fuck up, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting to light your ass up. Yeah. So have you ever had the issues with prior coaches to where y'all wasn't rocking together, or just, you know, to where just shit just bubbled just based on just you guys just dealing, to where I won't say that's justifiable, just to where there was shit behind the scenes happening?
Not coaches necessarily. Maybe like supervisors and shit like that at jobs, but nah, not coaches. I never really had a problem with a coach, but I don't think I would. I'll probably handle it similarly, you know, if I did. That's just off, like I said, it's just off my experience, like off my history, man, with supervisors. Like, I let a few have it, and like that's why I ain't working right now. So part of the reason I ain't.
The younger me, to your point, the younger me, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Me at 38, soon to be 39, it's a little bit of a difference in how I handle situations like that, because I got a lot more responsibilities. I got kids, I got a wife, you know what I'm saying? I got a home to take care of. So losing that $1 million from my, if I'm AB, that matters to me. You know what I mean? Like, period. Like, I know me acting the way he acted. Anyway? I know me acting the way he acted. My wife has some issues with me just letting go of $1 million that quickly. You know what I mean? But
was he going to get that though? Was it guaranteed? Or?
He was going to meet the marks. He was going to meet the marks clearly. I mean, the man was targeted 15 times the previous game, and he was like James said, he was all they had as far as a key guy. Gronk, you know, is doing what Gronk does. Evans is still balling, but he's hobbling. So they were playing us too.
He definitely was going to get it. Definitely was gonna get it.
Oh yeah, he was for sure. I didn't want to go there, but I'm glad you did. But yeah, that was it. So he was gonna make the marks as far as his incentive laden contract. So it is
like
what
Cash,
it is.
Like you know, being military, you know, I'm pretty sure as a young airman, you ran into, you know, that staff sergeant or that tech sergeant, you know, that got a little bit too active in his reprimanding of you. Because I remember I was on, I think I was on like Fort Dix or something, and you know, I had my hands in my pocket because it was cold. And this tech sergeant come running up to me like in my face, bro. Like I could literally like spit was flying out of his mouth on my face, and he was screaming at me to take my hands out of my fucking pockets, and I had a nigga moment.
Oh yeah, similar, similar situation here too.
So it's like that, because it's like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Because we don't really know, you know, exactly what was said on the sideline. You know, they said that he said you're cut. I can guarantee you, Bruce Arians or whoever said he was done did not say you're done. They probably said some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they let the venom fly.
For sure. I had the same situation you were talking about. I'm in Qatar. I'm in the Middle East. I'm deployed. You know, I'm about to get a sip of wine because, you know, you can't sip that much when you overseas on your deployment. And I don't know what I was doing. It wasn't a hands in a pocket thing. It was something else. So Cat ran up on me, was talking crazy. And, you know, I ain't take too kindly to it. I was around some young ladies, you know, that I was trying to entertain. So, of course, now it's on 10. Now it's times 10. I have to react because I got the ladies right here, man. They can't see I'm soft, right? So, you know, I'm like calmly like, who the fuck are you talking to? And he's like, who are you talking to? And then it gets, you know, words get to happening or whatever. Long story short, whatever he was asking me to do, and this was like a long time ago, like 10, 13. Anyway, I don't do whatever he tells me to do. And, you know, next day, I walk into work like it's all good. My commander's like, hey, I need to holler at you. And we talk about it. And, you know, it was kind of water under the bridge, but it was really in the approach. You know what I'm saying? The man didn't respect me to begin with. You know what I mean? So I think that's where it starts with. Like, it was the respect on both sides. I don't think there was no respect from the coaching staff. Exactly. And then to double that, there's no respect, you know, from AB's part as far as being a teammate, as far as not leaving your teammates out there to have to fend for themselves. I get it. It was the Jets. They won the game. But if he does that in the playoffs, come on, man. This is blown up times 10 if he does that in the playoffs, because they're not beating anybody in the playoffs if he does that to a playoff caliber team. Down 2 touchdowns, 2 scores. Come on. You know what I mean?
And like I said, it's one of those things where I absolutely think he deserved what he got. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't think he deserved that shot to begin with. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of dudes that's done less. It's like when you talented, you know what I'm saying, teams gonna give you a third chance, a fourth chance, a fifth chance. I don't like teams who do that and then try to come back like, oh yeah, you know, we're just gonna distance. Nah, bro, you selling your soul to win. You know what I'm saying? Like if you remember Alden Smith, you know, a long time ago.
Yeah, 49ers, DE.
Yeah, he kept beating bitches up and motherfucker just kept giving them chance after chance after chance. Like, bro, I swear, every week he beat up some new girl or something, some kind of domestic violence stuff. Week after week, and he just kept getting chance after chance after chance. And then when those players screw up, the team wants to try to like position themselves on this moral high ground, be like, oh no, you know, y'all are just as much the problem. You know what I'm saying? Because you keep giving him chances. He shouldn't have been in the league to fuck up a third time, a fourth time. 2 times should have been enough. Like, indeed. I think this situation with AB never should have happened, bro. Like, you know, and we know something is wrong with him. Ain't nobody trying to get him no help. They're like, yeah, man, hey, go out there for less than $1 million and take some more hits to your already damaged brain so we can get Tom Brady a 7th championship. Man, fuck them. Bro, I got real issues with that, yo. Because now you know, Antonio Brown is the issue. Ain't nobody talking about how basically the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were just pimping him out to get some jewelry. We know the boy damaged. We know he damaged. So now what are they going to do? Are they going to try to assist him in getting some kind of help? Or is it going to be like what happened to Vincent Jackson years later, and we find out that he died? And then they do a CT scan of his brains like, yo, it's one of the worst brains we've ever seen. We know now, yo. Like, teams are still moving like they don't know.
And to your point, they haven't even released them.
Haven't even released them.
There you have it.
They don't give 0 votes.
There you have it. They still trying to reconcile. At the end of the day, the coaching staff got hot-headed. He got hot-headed, but they still recognize his value. So he hasn't been let go because they don't want to give anybody else a chance to snatch his ass up and him possibly be the reason why they don't go back to another Super Bowl and win one. So
and Brady plays for championships. He ain't playing for no division title.
Mm-mm.
He plays for Super Bowls, and he knows that they're not going to win the Super Bowl without him.
No,
you know. So he don't care what anybody else says. If Brady wants him on that team, he's gonna be on that team, but he might play again.
All right, man. So James, man, this is your time, man. Let's move on to the NFL. This is your time to get your shit off, and then we'll get into the teams that actually made the playoffs. You know what I mean? Teams like the Eagles. You know, I don't know if they could see back there, right there. They go to Eagles helmet. You know what I mean? We played against each other earlier this year. Had James on. They took that L. You know. So, but anyway, go ahead, man. You know, explain yourself. Explain yourself. Vent. Do what you gotta do, man. The floor is yours.
All right, man. So my internet is going crazy right now. It's a little pixelated. I don't know what's going on, but fuck Matt Rule. Matt Rule is the head coach of the Carolina Panthers, yo, and fuck that nigga, yo. Because first of all, first time head coach in the NFL, never coached, professionally ever. Coming from a school in Baylor, Baylor's not a power football team. And his claim to fame was that he turned Baylor around after all the sexual assault shit. And when you look at his record at Baylor, it's lackluster as hell. You in the Big 12, which ain't it's not like you coming out of the SEC. You in the Big 12, bro. Nobody cares about the Big 12. When the last time the Big 12 produced a national champion? Probably Texas, Vince Young. So we're not talking about a power conference here. And this cat, you're not even going to the main bowls. I think they went to the Sugar Bowl one time and got cut up. All these other bowls, you go into the Meineke Car Bowl. You go into the $5 foot long. Nobody gives a fuck about them bowls, man. And they're like, hey, man, we had interviews with Eric Bieniemy. It's like, hey, this is the hottest offensive coordinator in the league today. And why did he not get a job? He don't interview well. This man said he had a plan for the personnel that we had in place. And they'd rather go out and give a cat who never played, didn't win in college, a 7-year contract for $60 million, making him one of the highest paid coaches without coaching a down. And what do? First season, 5-11. This season, probably going to end up 5-12 because we're not winning today. I don't even care who the Buccaneers send out there. We're not going to win. We're going on year 3 of just being absolute garbage, and it's everybody's fault but him. He got hired, and they didn't hire a GM. So, whenever that happens, that lets you know that the head coach is the GM. Typically, when you get a new owner and he wants a new coach, he also gets a new GM. The GM makes the football decisions. No, Matt Rule makes those decisions. So the way that the roster looks is all because of him. But it's everybody else's fault. It's Cam's fault. The first year, you knew Cam was healthy, you cut him. And I'm cool with that. I realize that Cam ain't what he used to be. I felt like we should have kept him because of what he means to the Carolina Panthers. The best quarterback that we've ever had.
You too attached. You too attached, James.
Bro,
you too attached.
No.
You too attached, man. You too attached. He don't play well.
Cash, this is what I'm saying. If you're going to move on from Cam Newton, do not fucking bring in Teddy Bridgewater. And then, if you're going to move on from Teddy Bridgewater, do not bring in fucking Sam Darnold. Bruh, I'd rather y'all motherfuckers went and got somebody in the draft. Come on, man. That's all I'm saying. It's you don't the best quarterback that you've ever had. You don't send him, you don't put him out the pasture without a plan. If they had made some shit fucking for Deshaun Watson or something, or we went out, even if we got Matt Stafford, I wouldn't say the word. I'd be like, okay, bet, I can see that.
You talking in fairy tales, man. Nobody, y'all not getting Deshaun Watson. Y'all not getting nobody in Carolina. I love the Carolinas. My mom, my moms live out there. I love when I visit, man. But the reality is, y'all are not getting no premier guys unless y'all draft them. And all of this stuff you just said, you made no. Okay, let's talk about some of the conversations we had offline. You want Cam back? Cam came back.
Want Cam back?
Cam came back.
He did.
Talk about it,
bruh. even as bad as Cam Newton has played, he still played better than Sam Darnold. So why are you going to put Sam Darnold
How is that
there?
the measuring stick? That's terrible.
Because he's the starting quarterback right now. That's the point. We got to play. You got to put the best players on the team. What I'm saying is Cam still gives us the best opportunity to win. Are we going to be a great team? Hell no, because the offensive line is trash. But when Cam loses, everybody wants to point out how bad Cam is. When Sam Darnold loses, everybody want to talk about how bad the offensive line is, or how bad the play calling is, or how this is his first season in Carolina and he hasn't had time. Cam still ain't even been there for a fucking month. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how come Cam, who's actually proven to us that he can be good, not get the benefit of a doubt when a nigga in Sam Darnold, who's only proven to us that he is absolute garbage truck juice? Why do we give him the benefit of the doubt? We talking about Sam Darnold, my nigga. Sam Darnold. This dude missed games for mononucleosis.
I knew he was going. I knew
He had the kissing disease.
How you going to attack the man's mono?
Bro, why you getting mono for? Like, come on, man. You a millionaire. You can't fuck with no better hoes than that. Like, bro, what are we doing, man? What are we doing, yo? Like, nah, I can't get with that, yo. I can't get with that, man. And it's just like, you know, everybody likes to pile on Cam and shit. Like, bro, this motherfucker broke his back to carry our sorry ass franchise and made them into a franchise that was respectable. Like the year we got Cam Newton, we were the first overall pick for a reason. We were garbage. His first season, he wins 5 games. His second season, we win 6 games. The third season, bro, we went 11-5 and were the number 1 seed, and we lost to the 49ers, who went to the Super Bowl. He did that in 3 years. And we're going to punt all of that away because he's a little bit injured for Sam Darnold and Teddy Bridgewater? Who does that?
Carolina Panthers do that. That's who does that.
Facts. And that's why my blood pressure is. I'm sweating right now, bro. Like that's why I'm like this, man. Because like, yo, you look in Pittsburgh, man, and I know Ben Roethlisberger actually won championships, but he's been what's holding that team back for probably about 3 years now, and they will not move on because of what Ben Roethlisberger did for them. I'm just not a guy that feels like you got to win a championship to have that kind of adoration. Like, Cam literally built Bank of America Stadium. We were a laughingstock until he came there. A laughingstock.
That's a fact.
So you can't just cast him off like he's some kind of, gutter trash. And if you do, other people are watching. They're like, damn, Cam was the Carolina Panthers, and y'all got rid of him for Sam Darnold. Why would I come play for your franchise?
I remember. My mom's been living in Charlotte for quite some time, and I remember being able to get tickets so cheap that I could literally touch a player.
Bro, you can get $15 tickets, yo, and you be way up top.
I remember,
and the bottom wouldn't be filled in, so you could just walk your ass
slide right on down to the bottom. Yeah, I remember, man. But when, in the Cam years, it wasn't so much that. It was still affordable, but it wasn't so much that.